Minnesota with the ball. Low to Vegas. Giving it up for Fogarty on the left. Broken up. Child to the midfield line. He and Alan Willie collide. Child will get it away. For Z, Kapka in the neutral zone. For Dudek over the midfield line on the left wing. Helmet sends it up the boards for Child, trying to chest trap it and settle it down. He's got Low to Vegas on him. Pushes it out for Adam Topolsky, who's now on. Adams' pass picked off by Alan Willie. And Willie on the charge, already over midfield, trying to cut it back left for Stan Cummins. Broken up. Fogarty keeps it alive for Alan Willie. Marked up by Topolsky. We may see that matchup here this evening. At least that's what it is at the start. David Byrne tried to leave it off. Broken up, but he'll get it back out right side for Fogarty. Center point, Dwight Low to Vegas, who leads the strikers in block shots. Played in the All-Star team this year for the Eastern Division, as did Tino Lettieri. Byrne now knocking it back to Fogarty, so Minnesota is starting to move that ball all around. Low to Vegas almost loses to Child. Minnesota forced back, though. Back in their own zone. Child knocked it away, but Low to Vegas steps in front. Blocked by Dudek. Spirit could have a chance. Helmet bringing it in. Slides it left. Kapka, the shot. Blocked by Lettieri. And he'll come out. Tino gives it up on the left for Stan Cummins. Dekes it around Ingram, but Godfrey comes back. Cummins will get it anyway. Stan Cummins near the Pittsburgh red line. And now it's won by Minnesota. It seemed like Kapka may have hesitated a little bit on that run when Dudek was trying to feed him the ball. I don't know whether he was playing it too cautious or not, but that was a good scoring chance for Pittsburgh.
Well, Z is a little bit tentative right now. He hasn't scored in a while, and certainly doesn't have the confidence that a midfielder or a striker would have at this stage of the game.
David Bursic with the ball. 13:15 to go. First quarter. It is scoreless from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Long ball the other way, and Gary Etherington on his horse gives it up for Tino Lettieri. Lettieri on the left side. For Usian at the midfield line.
Gained possession of the ball, whereas Pittsburgh is playing very aggressively, very intense, realizing that there's a lot of pressure on this game, and they are going out from the opening whistle, try to take possession of the ball and dictate the game.
Pittsburgh with it. John O'Hara sends it long for Gergerev. Knocked away, and it will go into the crowd. See if it was deflected. Last, but nope. It'll be a goal kick coming up here for Minnesota. Pittsburgh playing without Stan Terlecki, bothered by a groin injury. So is Yilmaz Orhan. So is Val Tuksha, and Charlie Falzon is out possibly or probably for the season with a shoulder injury. He injured it Sunday, shoulder and wrist that he injured Sunday. Broke a bone in the left arm, actually, in the game against Dallas. I was going to say radius, but nobody really knows what that is, so I left that out. Just like everything in a certain area we call a groin injury, there's a lot of specific medical terms for it, but no one understands it, least of all myself. So we disguise it under that heading. Ball is cleared now back into the Minnesota zone. Etherington heads it right back to Lettieri, who juggles it. Gergerev gets a piece. We've got a foul pushing on Tino Lettieri. Tino did that one wrong because it's bad enough that he pushed, but he hurt himself.
Lettieri came out of the penalty area and very aggressively pushed into Gergerev. Direct kick Pittsburgh.
Freddie will place it. Out to O'Hara. Shot through a traffic jam is blocked off his own player, Koncharski. Etherington and O'Hara bang along the boards, and it goes out of play. Last touched by Minnesota. Pittsburgh will put it back in play. 12:17 to go in the opening quarter, so we're almost 3 minutes old. No scoring, but no real chances either.
Pittsburgh had one opportunity, Zeke Kapka, and the ball was blocked in front of the goal, and then Lettieri came up with it. But aside from that, no real strikes on goal.
Kevin Marr playing his first game for the Spirit after missing the last couple on the road. Gergerev getting it from Adam Topolsky. Back for Adam in the neutral zone. He'll reverse it for Kevin Marr off his foot. The chase is on. Koutsoukas after, but it's played back to Bursic. He clears it with his feet, but it's intercepted. David Byrne going long to the far post. Topolsky gets a whack at it. It hits off the glass, stays in play. Koutsoukas settling in the far boards. Tasso comes out, 35-footer, scooped up by David Bursic. He'll throw it in the outlet feed, right wing side. Topolsky with a chance here for Pittsburgh. But now Minnesota comes back. Adam still in possession. In the corner for Civvies, he tripped over a seam in the carpet. Still battles to win it, but now Stan Cummins is there. Tough break for Pittsburgh as they were breaking. Ball is reversed now to Alan Willie and played back for Dwight Low to Vegas. He'll hold on to it. 11:24 to go in a scoreless opening quarter. Not a lot of offense to this point. Usian Right wing boards, Jan Goosens off the boards for Usean, trying to jam it short side. He's nailed along the boards, and we've got a 2-minute penalty that's going to be called on Kevin Moore.
Then Bill Maxwell, the senior referee, pointed and it has to be a penalty spot, and of course interpretation is right.
That's how I missed it, because Hermano Richo came from the other end and signaled the 2 minutes. All right, Goosens will put it in play on the penalty shot. It's he against the goalkeeper. If David makes a save, that ball is alive. Goosens strikes it and he scores. From 24 feet out, Jan Goosens will get an unassisted goal on a penalty kick.
Very difficult kick to stop for the goalkeeper, David Bursic.
A 1-0 lead. That's a strange penalty kick, and I'm not arguing with it. But I remember most of the penalty shots are called usually when a player's breaking in the middle and it's clear. And as soon as the official calls it, he knows and he points right to that spot. This was a foul or a 2-minute minor call, and then, like you're saying, once they realized it, they made that call. So I have no argument with it. Just a little strange.
It'll be interesting to see how Pittsburgh will react, because now they're down and they have to fight back.
And Erhard Kapp is tripped up by Fogarty, so I thought they're calling it on Pittsburgh. So Minnesota leads at 3:47. Give it to Goosens, the Goose, on the penalty kick. No assist given, obviously, on a penalty shot. Lodovegas for Usean. Back for Dwight Lodovegas. Charlie Green and Marcio Leite on for their first shift of the day or of the night. So is Erhard Kapp. McKenzie knocking it away from Usean in the corner. Bursic plays that one with his hands. And now will be up and throwing it. Rolls it to the right side for Kapp. Now back for Helmut Dudek. Pittsburgh, a strong home team. 16-5 is their record on the road. They've struggled. Green obstructing Dwight Lodovegas. The crowd booing that, but they shouldn't. Charlie played the man, not the ball. And actually, it's a smart foul, because Lodovegas would have been by him. Dudek now breaks up the play, but that ball is going to sail over 3 lines. Actually, it goes into the crowd. Minnesota will get the ball. Before it went over 3 lines, it went out of play, so they will have a kick in with 10:27 to go, because Charlie Green was alone at the top of the box.
Marcia, very alert, strips the ball, but then tried to get the ball off the boards and pass the ball to himself, but Lettieri came up with the save.
Gary Etherington plays it into open space, but Charlie Green will pick it off at his own red line, attacking right to left of the Spirit. They trail 1-0. Green's pass knocked away by Fogarty for Willie. A quick pass for Tasso Koutsoukas, and Minnesota's over midfield. Into the Spirit zone. Willie breaks right. Now Koutsoukas comes that way. Tasso holding it along the near boards. Lobs it right back out. Left point, Gary Etherington holding it. Etherington looking. Plays it right side for Dangerfield. Off the boards for Etherington. Can't get a shot away, and Bursic is there. Nice job that time of tracking by Zeke Kafka.
Well-executed play by Minnesota, playing in from a defender and then using the boards.
Topolsky already in the attack zone. Knocks it out right point for Charlie Green. He comes back into the neutral zone. Lobbing it back now for Zeke Kafka. Left-footed pass up for Topolsky, trying to flick it for Leite. Bothered there by Minnesota's Greg Thompson. Cleared up the left wing side for the Goosens, but he can't play it. Kafka will get it. 9:02 to go. First quarter, 1-0 lead for Minnesota. McKenzie over the midfield line for Ingram. Godfrey to the right wing boards, plays it off the boards. Goosens knocks it away. He'll have a break. He got around Kafka. Bursic coming out and clears it away. He had the better chance. He knocked it over 3 lines, but it was a wise thing for David Bursic to do. It was the only thing for him to do. Pittsburgh got a little careless on those far boards.
Well, David Bursic, very alert, came off the line, outside of the penalty area, and of course the ball is coming towards them. Simply kicked the ball over the red line, so red line violation and Minnesota's ball.
Dwight Lodovegas now brings it out center point for Usean. Nice give and go. Lodovegas flicks it out left side. Shot off the boards wide by Goosens. Usean's rebound is wide. Bicycle kicked out by Dudek, but not out of the zone. Cummins will put a commercial shot into the crowd. We'll take it to a break for 30 seconds. Minnesota leads Pittsburgh 1-0 on the Spirit Soccer Network.
The Spirit's 7th player. Send a letter in 50 words or less saying why you'd like to become the 7th player. And if selected, you'll receive an official number 7 Spirit jersey. Have your letter printed in MISL magazine and be introduced with the team before the game. As the 7th player, you represent all the great Spirit fans who collectively are the 7th player on the field. Send your letters to the Spirit 7th player, Civic Arena, Gate 7, Pittsburgh, 15219.
We're back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. John Paul Dellacamera along with Bruno Schwartz as Adam Topolsky is now facing high pressure for the first time for Minnesota. It's knocked out of play, last touch by Alan Willie. So you can see what Minnesota's doing here. They can sense Pittsburgh is down, a little bit tentative, maybe nervous, maybe scared or what have you, but all of those factors, and they want to go right for them.
Well, they're reading it very well and realizing that Pittsburgh, being as tentative as you mentioned, now converted to a high-pressure defense, picking them up in Pittsburgh's own defensive third, which makes it very difficult for Pittsburgh to get out of their own area.
Well, David Bursic may have to come out a little bit, and that's what he's doing now, out to the penalty arc and beyond. Now leaves it for Godfrey Ingram. Godfrey beats the first player, leads it into open space for O'Hara, but it's too far. Lettieri is out to chip it over the midfield line. Headed away by Topolsky. For Godfrey Ingram over midfield he comes. On the left for Paul Child, trying to settle down that ball. Picked up by Greg Thompson. Child will leave it off for John O'Hara at the left point area. O'Hara holding it. For Child in the penalty arc broken up. O'Hara will get it back 40 feet away. Pulls it. Looks on his left foot, takes the shot, blocked. They'll try it again. Slides it to the near side. Etherington picks it off. For Cummins, good give and go down the right wing. Etherington with good speed. Can't shoot it, now does. It's blocked by David Bursic. That was deflected, and that ball actually took off when it was deflected.
Minnesota loves to go forward as soon as they got the ball in their own defensive third. One pass out, and 3 men went forward.
Gerhard Kapp heading at far post for Child. It's off the mark. Good to see Kapp back out there after that collision with David Byrne. Byrne is out there, too. He's all right. Byrne and the Strikers leading at 1-0, 7:05 to go in the opening quarter. Knocked back on the right side for Fogarty. The only score was on a penalty shot by Goosens. Otherwise, it would be scoreless. Tasser Koutsoukas on the far boards. Holds it. Plays it back the other way for Fogarty. Pittsburgh has won 6 out of their last 7 in this building. They've done well. It's the away from home games that have really cost them. Otherwise, they could be a first-place team. That's not false exaggeration. They would be right up there with a few more wins. They're only 4 games out of first as it is.
But that's the irony of it all. Pittsburgh below 300 by 3 games, 500 by 3 games, and yet they have a chance to win it all if they're able to get a 4 or 5 game winning streak.
Child will give it up on the left side for Godfrey Ingram. Spirit down 1-0 as Godfrey brings it back up at his own red line. He holds. Now back on the left for Kevin Marr. The other way it comes for Gerhard Kapp. Kapp in midfield with 6:04 to go. First quarter. A 1-0 Minnesota lead. McKenzie off the boards for Sibby's block. Child knocked it away. It goes into the corner and it goes out of play. Minnesota sort of gets the penalty shot, and it's been rather sluggish for both teams, actually. Minnesota, they'll have H.J. Hines. Kickoff is at 7:35 p.m. and tickets are available at all choice seat outlets. If you catch that television commercial, you'll see Gerhard Kapp on it, showing you what those umbrellas look like. Lota Vegas will play it back now to Tino Lettieri as we're back for the final 5:51 of the opening quarter. Kevin Marr heading it upfield. Right side, Sibby's knocking it for Marr at the red line. 70 feet away for Sibby's give and go for Kevin Marr. It's behind him. Knocked away by David Byrne. Byrne will give it for Stan Cummins. Cummins up near midfield. Good lead pass. Greg Thompson on a run from the back. Takes a long shot. It's off the boards and wide. Picked up by Kapka, and he starts right back up the middle. Topolsky trying to go forward on the run. Kapka plays it in front of score. Ian Sibby's with a beautiful score to tie it at one.
Very well executed play on the part of Pittsburgh. Again, Ian Sibby's coming through the midfield and simply with a killer pass split the defense of Minnesota, seeing that Ian Sibby's running behind the defense of Minnesota, and then he just one-touched it high over the left shoulder of Lettieri.
Topolsky made a nice run, which may have distracted Lettieri a little bit. Kapka put the ball right in the money, and Sibby's just lifted it, just basically almost a deflection more than anything else. He just made contact with the ball, put it right over Tino Lettieri, so it's tied up. Sibby's has now scored a goal in his last couple of games. He had the only goal in the 4-1 loss Sunday against Dallas. Let's see if that goal picks up Pittsburgh now as Koncharski with a steal from McKenzie in the attack zone for Charlie Green. Cuts it back for McKenzie, 50 feet from goal on the right wing side. Mack will give it to Gergiev. Freddie holding it right back out to McKenzie. Now for Charlie Green. 50-foot shot went wide off the boards. Control by Dudek, bothered by an ankle problem. Heard it in the first couple of minutes against Dallas on Sunday. Minnesota will get the ball away. Thompson, you see, and leads it, and right behind the defense comes Goosens. McKenzie trying to cut him off, and Goosens' shot goes wide. Minnesota getting some players open on those runs down the wings. That time was a forward, but previously on 2 occasions, the defender made a good run. As Yusian takes a shot, blocked off his own player, he'll get it back. Yusian holding it, tackled away by Green, but he gets it right back. Yusian again. For Katsoukas outside the box, left-footed shot is blocked. Minnesota putting some pressure on here. Kuncharski taken down, no foul call. Now bodies start to fly. Gergiev will get it back for Pittsburgh.
Minnesota is a very offensive-minded team. As soon as they get the ball, there's no wasting time at midfield. They just simply thread the needle for the killer pass and try to hit the target player, who usually is parked at midfield.
Gary Etherington will leave it off for David Byrne. Byrne holding it and waiting. Tell you what this Minnesota team does very well. When there is an open player, they find him. They make that good pass, and consequently, with guys like Alan Willie, David Byrne around, and Yusian, they do a lot of finishing. John O'Hara will chest it down along the near wing boards. Boots it ahead over the midfield line. Dwight Lodovegas after it. Kicks it right back to Tino Lettieri. Chesting it down in his goal box area. Feeds it on the left side for Lodovegas. Cuts it right back for Lettieri. 3:21 to go. First quarter tied at 1. Tino Lettieri second to Chris Sobieski for most wins. He has 21. Ball cleared upfield. He also has 10 assists. That's 1 shy of the MISL record for a goalkeeper in a single year. That's impressive. Lodovegas leading it on the right wing boards for Thompson. Godfrey Ingram picks it up. Gives it to Topolsky. Adam going forward quite a bit in this opening quarter. Over the midfield line on the left wing side for Ingram. Godfrey holding it. Still with it. Gives it up to John O'Hara, center point. Johnny slides it right side for Topolsky. Adam holds it, cuts it for Gergiev. Penalty arc shot blocked by Lodovegas. One of the ways for Pittsburgh to get that offense going, it would seem, would be to move those defenders forward, because they're just not getting enough goals up front now. The tough part is that Topolsky has had the assignment of marking the other team's top scorer, making it difficult for him to help the offense as much as he can.
That's a test of the two-way player, being able to defend and also be able to go forward and create the attack.
And O'Hara's pass goes out of play. Johnny will go to the bench for a breather. Kevin Marr will come on for him. Minnesota and Pittsburgh tied at 1. 3:47. The goal scored by Goosens, his 16th of the year on a penalty kick. And at 9:38, Ian Civies tied it with his 15th goal of the year. The assist going to Z. Kapka. 2:19 to go. First quarter, the ball played into Dangerfield, knocked away by Kapka. Ingram will pick it up. Godfrey off the right wing boards for Z. Into the attack zone, right wing corner. Z holds up. Waits for someone open. Feeds it to Ingram. Dishes it off. McKenzie coming in. Left-footed shot blocked. In the box, it's loose, but Lettieri gets it and rolls it ahead for Yusian. Cut off by Kevin Marr, and Yusian collides with him. No whistle for a foul, rather for the ball going out of play, and it's going to be Pittsburgh's ball. But Kevin Marr, who has not seen a lot of time, was very aggressive there.
He had no choice. Was caught in no man's land. It's either he had to go and win the duel or be caught and chase Yusian. And he came out, won the ball, knocked it off Yusian. Pittsburgh's kicking.
Minnesota will get it back, though, off the kick-in. Chris Dangerfield to Yusian. Bad pass picked off. Kapka finds Lethe, and Marcio lost it. Minnesota clears it back to Lettieri off the boards. Cut loose by Katsoukas for Dangerfield. And now left there for Etherington. Marcio had a chance to get a good lead pass and may have taken his eye off it to see where Lettieri was, and that one split second caused him to lose the ball. As you would call it, a loss of concentration?
It was that, but I think he was so surprised that he was wide open and not a defender between him and the goal, and in doing so, the ball scooted past him.
David Byrne over midfield in a 1-1 tie with 1:18 to go first quarter. Lethe, good pressure on Byrne, but Byrne spinning around, pivoting, plays it back for Ken Fogarty.
Bit of brilliant soccer technique by Byrne, simply controlling the ball and a great deal of pressure.
McKenzie fouls Alan Willie. That's what the booing is about in the background. That's Pittsburgh's third. It's played into the box now to Byrne. Left there. Kutsuka shot stopped by Gorsuch. His best save of the quarter. David had to really come up big on that one. The shot was right out.
He was on his heels already, and the ball came high and was able to parry it out.
David Byrne knocks it out to the left point for Lodovegas. He'll reverse it to Ken Fogarty. Cummins is also on. Along with Byrne and Willie. It's played to David Byrne on the left wing boards. Trying to turn on his man. Broken up, though, by Marr and Ingram. Godfrey in trouble for Kuncharski off the boards for Kevin Marr. He may get his own pass. Tackle away. Dwight Lodovegas makes a great play as it's cleared back the other way. I say a great play because there's no foul call, and Alan Willie just dives to get a foul. There's no question McKenzie hit him, but the way Willie just leaped off his feet, that was a bit of bad acting from up here.
I think Willie didn't want to get hit in the Achilles as it was, and simply avoided the tackle by Mack, and then in doing so just simply tumbled forward.
Weren't the Oscars last night, or am I wrong? Fogarty in the neutral zone. Time running out first quarter, 24 seconds to go. Not your usual high-scoring quarter between Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Yusian flicking it near side. Goosens was almost knocked into his own bench because the penalty, or the door was open on the bench. Klintrowski on the right side for Ingram. He gets around Lodovegas, but Cummins is there to block it. It hits off the referee, Ritchell. Lodovegas with a strong header to get it out and kill the rest of the time. Ozzy 2, as they call it. Well, they're looking towards the goal judge. Now apparently we're all right. Bill Maxwell was looking at the goal judge behind Tino Lettieri. But we're set. Pittsburgh with the ball. Dave McKenzie at his own red line. Pittsburgh will attack left to right this quarter. Helmut Dudek upfield for Sibbies. He's crunched by Thompson and Etherington as the ball goes out of play. Pittsburgh will have it in a kick-in. Helmut Dudek will take it. He had a 4-game goal-scoring streak snapped against Dallas on Sunday. Ingram had a 7-game scoring streak snapped as well. Dave McKenzie will get it down the right side for Erhard Kapp. Over midfield, fouled by Katsoukas, who made no attempt at the ball. Pittsburgh will put it in play on the restart. Kapp will leave it now for Dave McKenzie. Mack plays it off the left wing boards for Sibbies. Tied up by Etherington. Minnesota putting a lot of pressure on that ball. And they come away. But it's 3-on-4. The numbers are not there right now, and it's played right back to Gary Etherington. For Greg Thompson, still in the zone. Pittsburgh now going to high pressure. But Minnesota escapes it. Goosens finds Katsoukas. Into the attack zone he comes. Tasso right back, a quick shot, wide rebound shot, save. Made by Bursic off of Jan Goosens, but he got 2 shots away. Child at the red line of Pittsburgh knocks it out, but we've got a foul that's going to be called on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was very fortunate because that pass that went from Katsoukas to Goosens was there. Jan just shot the first one wide, got his own rebound, and Bursic made a big save.
Well, Minnesota very clever in reading that high pressure of Pittsburgh, and was able to get out of it simply by passing the ball through the entire midfield, and then came out on the counterattack.
Kapp will blast, but it's blocked by Katsoukas, and Tasso plays it for Yusian. He'll hold the ball. He knows Minnesota's changing up. Now he leads it for Alan Willie, knocked away by Topolsky, who reads that well. Kapp toes that head for Child, back for Dudek on the right side. Sibbies in the attack zone. Left side, Dudek is free from 40. Now his shot is blocked by Katsoukas. It goes out of play. Pittsburgh will have a kick-in. Helmet appears to be moving okay, but I talked to him before the game, and he was talking about the pain in his ankle, but he said that with the game being so important, that he was going to go out there and play, although it did bother him. We may not see him crank him as well as he can, and you may see a little hesitation somewhere if he can't make that play. But right now, he looks all right.
Well, once you get into the flow of the game, you forget about the pain.
Topolsky will shoot it. It goes wide off that restart. And now Lodovegas back over his own red line to Willie over midfield. Alan Willie in the attack zone. Left wing side for David Byrne. Cuts to the right. Fakes. Still with it. Cuts back to his left. Feeds it Lodovegas with a clear shot, but it's now blocked by Kapka. To the far boards it goes. Alan Willie will knock it back the other way. Willie comes into the game with 40 goals, and as Bruno Schwartz mentioned earlier, 9 game winners. That's tied for the league lead with Eric Rasmussen of Wichita. That's good company to keep. Cummins from Byrne. Slides it left. Lodovegas cracks it. It's blocked by Topolsky. It goes into the crowd. Looked like a good offensive setup that time for Minnesota, but Pittsburgh closed in a hurry.
Minnesota moving the ball around very well. A lot of lateral movement, which causes some disorganization among the defensive marking. But again, Minnesota very cleverly, using that changeover and causing some problems for Pittsburgh and a lot of ball possession for Minnesota.
Lodovegas has been laying back and then reading and running at the right time and finding himself wide open when he receives the ball. It's played in now for Byrne. O'Hara and Byrne were jockeying for position. The foul goes against Byrne. It'll be the 3rd on Minnesota. 1 on Pittsburgh as Bursic rolls it right for John O'Hara. Spirit captain over midfield. Leads it into open space. Captain off the boards. Gerger can't handle that one. Lodovegas with a header to try and move it out for Byrne. Knocked back now to the left side. Minnesota, no panic back there. They quickly move it around. Several touches on the ball. They're still in their own zone, and now they give it to Lettieri with Pittsburgh on a high-pressure defensive marking.
Minnesota feels like they're in total command of this game. You could see the poise that exudes with them, their ability to hold the ball and simply trying to toy with Pittsburgh.
That time Lettieri just lost it as he tried to kick it off the boards. It just skimmed into the penalty box area. So Pittsburgh will have a free kick just over midfield. O'Hara slides it right side for Dave McKenzie. Mack holding it against Goosens. Goes long for Gergiev, trying to head it to Green. Broken up by Fogarty. He blasts it off the glass. Picked up by the strikers, and Katsoukas brings it over his own red. Leaves it for Jan Goosens. Now to Usian. Strikers start crisscrossing as Goosens breaks right. Usian hits him. Now it's played back to Fogarty. Quickly slid over on the left wing side for Gary Etherington. Off the left wing boards for Usian. O'Hara on him. Thompson, Usian. Spinning to the right. Now to the middle. Try to leave it. Fakes it. Usian may use the boards. He does. He gets his own ball. Toes it. But it's stopped at the short side by David Bursic. Good all-around effort, though, by Usian.
A lot of changeovers by Minnesota. Again, that lateral movement. Players coming to one side and then overlapping and taking over the ball, which causes some defensive marking problems.
Ball played into Gergiev, but he can't get a good shot away on Tino Lettieri. 11.5 to go. Second quarter. Tied at 1. Gary Etherington putting the brakes on. Now feeds it for Greg Thompson. Thompson in his own zone, short of the red line, plays it over midfield for Willie. He fakes it. Now goes after the ball as David Byrne tried to flick it onto him, but it's broken up. Alan Willie wearing the captain's stripe. Ray Hudson is your captain, but he did not make the trip. Topolsky up the middle for Ingram. It's blocked, and David Byrne will get it back for the strikers. Cut back nicely to Gary Etherington, who held up his run. Etherington 50 feet away, and he'll put that one into the seats. We'll take it to a 30-second break. It's tied at 1. Pittsburgh and Minnesota on the Spirit Soccer Network.
59 of your MISL magazine to the Marriott ad. If you have Marcio Leite's autograph on that Marriott ad, you're the lucky winner of a brunch or two at the Pittsburgh Marriott in Greentree. To claim your prize, bring that MISL magazine.
Hey. Dave McKenzie will play it up the right side for Godfrey Ingram. It's tied up at 1. If you're just joining us, John Paul Dellacamera along with Bruno Schwartz. The stretch drive, and every game critical now. Not important, but critical for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Minnesota still has a chance to finish anywhere, really, among the top teams. So this game has the importance for them as well. Long pass up the field. Goosens will knock it away. Way back it comes to David Bursic. He'll leave it now for McKenzie. Mack up the left wing side for Leite. Bothered by Lodevega. Spins away from him. Marcio in the attack zone. Cuts to the right. Knocks it back for Erhard Kapp off his left foot. He can't control. Plays it out now to Kevin Marr. 50 feet away, the left wing side. Fakes the give and go. Now it's Kapp from 45. It's partially blocked. Picked up by Goosens. Off the boards. Kept alive by Marr for Kapp. Erhard off the boards. It takes a loose ball. And in front, Leite scores a goal. Erhard Kapp will get the assist. Minnesota never saw the ball. And right there on the doorstep was Marcio Leite to break out of the scoring slump for him.
Well, that time Minnesota has caught and turning the ball over in the own defensive third. Jan Goosens has the ball against the board and simply tried to clear, unable to do so. Kevin Marr came up with it and then over for Erhard Kapp. And the board, as we said, Marcio Leite right on the doorstep with the ball trickled through the net. On it, so was able to push the ball into the back of the net, and Pittsburgh's on top for the first time, 2-1.
Marcio's 19th goal of the season. Erhard Kapp gets an assist, but give credit to Kevin Marr because when Goosens banged it off the boards, if Kevin doesn't react, that ball's out of the zone. A long clearing pass now by Pittsburgh. Sails out of play, so it'll be Minnesota's ball. Marcio's gone quite a stretch without scoring a goal or actually an assist. Is it 8 games? Without scoring, and maybe a month or so ago he was one of the hottest, if not the hottest player on the Pittsburgh Spirit. So it's good to see him get back in the scoring column. Pittsburgh leads for the first time tonight, 2-1. Fogarty throwing it back for Tino Lettieri. Lettieri holding very patiently, waiting for someone to show. Now strikes it hard with the right foot. It's deflected over to Kapka right at the Spirit red line. Z will hold it there with 9:20 to go. Second quarter, and the Spirit leading at 2-1. Dudek leads for Leite. Off the boards. Marcio shot. It comes right out of the bad angle. No one can knock it home for Pittsburgh, but it's out to Topolsky from Kapka. Adam from 50. It's blocked by Etherington. Tough break because Sibby's is open at the post. Topolsky will get it back. He drills one. That had to sting Katsoukas from 70 feet, and Adam will play it all the way back to the feet of David Bursic. Bursic has it blocked by Alan Woolley, and now heads it up the field. So some anxious moments there for Pittsburgh, and now it lands on the Spirit bench.
I think David was expecting that sudden rush by Minnesota, and he got caught in no man's land, had to use his feet initially, and then it was blocked, and then he had to head the ball out of safety.
2-1, Pittsburgh leading it with 8:50 to go. And this is the second quarter of fouls we'll take a look at for you. It shows Minnesota with 2 and Pittsburgh with 1. Thought Minnesota had 3 before, but apparently the person who keeps those stats must have been quicker than I thought he was. They must have just put up 2. Helmut Dudek back forward in the neutral zone. Right side for Leite. His goal is the go-ahead goal. His 19th of the year. Marcio from 60 feet. Bumped by Fogarty. Still tries to get through. Fogarty knocks it away. Back over the midfield line and towards the Spirit side of the neutral zone. Dudek lifting it off the near boards for Leite. Marcio chesting it down. Trying to control it, turn it inside. Nice couple of moves. On his right foot. Drills it. Blocked by Fogarty. Now on his left in the box. Sibby's can't get it up on it. It's loose. Dudek blocked by Usian. Sibby's had been off balance, so he couldn't get a good shot away. McKenzie will wisely clear it all the way back to Bursic now with the pressure on him. But boy, Pittsburgh's starting to get some chances.
Well, it's obvious that Marcio's goal has lifted the Spirit a little bit, and they're seeing a lot more ball possession, there's a lot more movement, and there's a little bit of confidence in their game.
Some good hustle, though, by Marcio Leite on his first shift. You could see when he was trying to win the ball that he was on.
Yeah, plus a little bit of imagination. Under traffic is able to flip the ball and so forth, and players do that when they know they've done something right.
David Byrne down the right wing side. Topolsky and he shoulder to shoulder. In the corner, they battle. Byrne tries to play it in. Blocked by Bursic. It's still loose. Coming out. Flicked by Cummins for Alan Woolley. He can't turn in the box. Broken up by O'Hara. And then Kucharski helps out. But O'Hara had Woolley marked very tight.
Pittsburgh closed off very quickly there.
David Byrne looking. O'Hara knocks it away. Clears it into open space for Child. Over midfield. Knocked away by Stan Cummins. Back for Lettieri.
A few times we saw that killer pass by Pittsburgh, simply splitting the entire defense.
On the left wing side now, Thompson sends it back for Dwight Lodevegas. Right at the midfield line, he's bounded by Sibby's. Plays it up for Willie, knocked away by Topolsky. Pittsburgh starting to get very aggressive now defensively as Cummins loses the ball, and Child will pick it up for O'Hara. Off the left wing boards for Sibby's. Ian against Byrne in a mismatch. Cuts to the inside. He's tripped up by David Byrne. We've got a foul on Minnesota, their third.
This will be a direct kick about 20 feet outside and over to the corner of the penalty box. A set play for Pittsburgh.
Sibby's and John O'Hara over the ball. Sibby's will take it, plays it in the box for Child, wants to turn. Back yells it in the box, but Alan Woolley is there. Child wanted to hit Ian Sibby's. Stan Cummins at his own red line as Goosens comes on now. Cummins goes to the bench. Played back for Tino Lettieri. 6.5 to go. Second quarter. A 2-1 Pittsburgh lead. They lead for the first time. They had trail 1-0. A pass for Thompson. He's crunched by McKenzie, and it's played back for Bursic now for Paul Child deep. By his own penalty arc, he'll slowly bring it up for Sibby's. Knocked away by Lodevegas. On a tackle from behind that's a little too tough. And Minnesota gets their fourth foul. Lodevegas, one of the harder tacklers in the MISL. Very aggressive player and a solid, sound defender, who until this year didn't get the recognition I think that he deserves. He was named to the All-Star squad this year.
And he's starting to go forward as well, so which makes him a very valuable two-way player.
On the right side of the field, Katsoukas giving it to Lodevegas, blocked by Charlie Green. He gets rid of it nicely. Over midfield comes Usian. Goosens breaks left. Usian still with it. A shot taken is blocked by Erhard Kapp. Picked up by Sibby's for Charlie Green. Broken up by Usian. Taken down by Green, and Charlie Green's going to get 2 minutes for holding. And I'm sure there will be an official's timeout. They'll have to do their thing right now. McKenzie, Kapp, Marr, and Ingram. So basically, Ingram the only forward out there, and Kevin Marr, who did so well in that role last year, now getting a chance here.
Well, it's obvious Don Popovic is thinking simply defend, not going forward to attack. We want to kill the power play.
Goosens a long shot, missing the far post. Near boards for Stan Cummins. Over to Katsoukas. Holding from 40. Drills a shot. Blocked by Erhard Kapp. Willie also there on the doorstep. Katsoukas up in the air, but he doesn't come down with the ball. Kevin Marr does. Kevin holding it. Leads it for Erhard Kapp. Over the midfield line comes Kapp. Cap along those far boards, collides with Dangerfield. They're going to call a foul on Minnesota. That will be their 5th. Kevin Marr will put it in play, so Pittsburgh might be able to attract the 6th foul here against Minnesota and get out of this penalty killing situation. Ingham chased back by Cummins, places it to the feet of Bursic. Bursic going long for Kevin Marr, who chested down. Cap was breaking left, but he couldn't hit him. Broken up by Willie. Alan Willie up the left wing side for Cummins. 1:11 to go on the power play. Minnesota down 2-1 to Pittsburgh. Played out now, Katsoukas holding it. Goosen's wide open. He finally gets the ball. Now back center point to Katsoukas, who can really crank him. Left wing side, Cummins shoots it. Oh, off a deflection. It looked like it hit off Earhart Cap, but I'm not positive. Maybe you can help me on that one. 2-2 tie, but it looked like it hit off Earhart in front. And one of those unlucky goals again for Pittsburgh.
You called it correctly, JP. It really was. It was off Earhart Cap as Stan Cummins simply shot from the near side boards. It was a good hard shot into the crease. And Earhart Cap had withdrawn to help out defensively and simply changed trajectory, and Minnesota scored their 2nd goal in a tie game.
It seems like Pittsburgh gets beat on goals like that, especially here in this building, but it seems like maybe once every couple of games. It's at a tremendous frequency, or so it seems. Those goals that just deflect. And Cummins had the right idea. He could have still passed that ball around if he wanted to, but he saw some traffic there and he just fired it. It was not a good shot, and it would not have gone in had it not hit off Earhart. David Byrne now leaves it for Mike Jeffries, his first shift of the night. It's tied at 2, a power play goal for Minnesota after Pittsburgh had killed just about half of that power play. Back up the field. Helmut Dudek over the midfield line. Right wing side boards, Freddie Gergiev holding it there against Fogarty. Right back to the right point for Dave McKenzie. Mack on the left side for Dudek, picked up by Jeffries along the left wing boards. Kapka in the corner deep. Trying to spin on David Byrne. He goes down. Byrne topples over him. Sibbies will pick up the loose ball. For Kapka, the give and go. Ian in the corner. Bangs it with Fogarty. Knocks it in, but Jeffries sends it back out, and Kapka will pick it up. Out to the left point for Dudek with 3:40 to go before the half. It's tied at 2. Headed out by Etherington. And it will land in the Spirit bench. Now they're going to change the 2nd goal scored by Minnesota. Or Cummins was the one that shot it.
That's Dangerfield for Cummins at 10:17 for the striker's 2nd goal.
How do you do that?
Well, Stan Cummins, number 13, shot the ball and hit Earhart Cap and went in the net. He has to be credited with the goal.
Yeah, they'll check that out. Conrad Smith, who is Minnesota's public relations director, is here. So if it's not changed, then it could have hit somebody before it hit Cap, but I didn't think so. It looked like it was clear. It looked like it was one deflection. In any event, it's tied at 2, regardless of who gets it. Dangerfield now swinging it right side. Giving it to Cummins, a shot off David Bursic's hand, and we've got a collision as Alan Willie goes down. A foul on Pittsburgh. It will be their 2nd. Maybe Dangerfield got credit for that goal because of reputation, Bruno, because coming into the game he had 10 power play goals.
That could very well be. We got a direct kick coming up here for Minnesota, right in a very dangerous situation.
Dangerfield slides it out to Cummins, backpedaling. Stan Cummins out right point for Alan Willie. He goes down. Ball knocked away, and Pittsburgh will break 3-on-3. Up the middle comes Sibbies. He'll lead it for Gergiev. Went off his foot, picked up by Fogarty, and he slows it down for Lola Vegas. Minnesota trying to dictate the pace right now. Now they find Dangerfield open on the right. Chris Dangerfield under the attack zone. Cuts to the left. Tries to put a shot on goal. Blocked. He still goes forward. Knocked away by Sibbies, and it's cleared right back to the neutral zone. And now inside the striker red line. Tied up. 2 goals apiece. 2:28 to go, first half. Etherington for Usean. Thompson Usean in over the attack line. Deeks on John O'Hara. Leaves it off. Ball played into the box by Thompson. Broken up. Willie will get a 2nd crack. It's deflected away from him. Thompson back to win it all the way back for Tino Lettieri. Tino puts the brakes on. Feeds it left side. Etherington tried to pass it back. Blocked out of play by Klincharski, but a dangerous idea for Etherington with Klincharski coming at him full speed ahead.
A little bit of high pressure by Pittsburgh with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. Pittsburgh going all out here, trying to cause some turnovers and get him back into the game.
Next Spirit game will be Saturday night. Talk about your big games in Chicago. Sting will be just as hungry, if not hungrier, than Pittsburgh. pending what happens, of course, here tonight. Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and Chicago is playing in Kansas City. I mean, if Chicago were to lose that game, it might take some of the starch out of them as well. But if they win, they're going to be hungrier and hungrier. And as we said earlier, they do have the better schedule. More games at home and against the lesser, shall we say, opposition. Pittsburgh is the only team that have all of their games remaining with teams in their own division. So they're all very important games for Pittsburgh. 2 games with Baltimore. Right now, Baltimore looks like the team to beat out of 4th place, but it changes daily. Baltimore only played 1 game last week, Bruno. They were in 1st place. They played 1 game and they dropped to 4th. And then they played another game later, and that helped to put them down a little bit deeper. But after 1 bad result, they dropped 3 places. Goosen's the other way now in the right corner. Off the boards and in too deep was Katsuka, so that would have been an easy Minnesota goal.
Minnesota using the boards very effectively. The ball scooted through, and unfortunately for Minnesota, were unable to convert.
Good ball by John O'Hara to reverse things. Up the left wing side comes McKenzie. O'Hara was double teamed and he avoided that pressure. Mack holding it. Out to Gott, bring him at the left point. Ingham Deeks to the left wing side. The club's leading scorer takes it into the corner. Still with it, knocks it out for McKenzie. O'Hara free on the right wing. Mack will take a shot too high. It comes back out. McKenzie fighting for it. Yusian will head it away to the near boards for O'Hara. Remember, Minnesota still has 5 fouls. Leite will get it. 2 fouls on Pittsburgh. Marshall trying to poke it through, broken up, but Cap will control. For O'Hara, 70 feet away, dead center. Slides it on the left side for McKenzie. Minnesota's played the last few minutes or so with those 5 fouls. Mack toes it out. Right point, O'Hara. Near boards for Cap. Deeks it around Goosens. Off the boards, but Lettieri is right there. Tino will hold it up. Rolls it left side for Gary Etherington. Etherington shaking away from the high pressure of Pittsburgh. Goes right side for Katsukas at the midfield line. Tasso holding it. Leaves it for Yusian. Running it against him is O'Hara. Now Yusian plays it back the other way to Fogarty. For Katsukas. Right back for Lettieri. Minnesota, I think right here, know that they've got the 5 fouls and they don't want to risk anything. At least that's the way it seems as it's cleared up field. Now Leite will get it back. He and Lodevegas are there.